Hey guys, it's Melissa here. Today I thought I would talk to you about loving life and loving yourself, even when both of those things seem impossible. I did a little meditation before I recorded this podcast, and I asked my guides, what message do people need to hear? And what I got was you need to hear more about loving life and loving yourself, even when the situations going on around you cause you to not want to do either of those things. This is so easy to do too. There's so many times in life when a situation arises, we see something we don't like, we hear something we don't like, or we do something that we immediately regret, and then our whole attitude starts to change. So if, for example, something happens to us that we weren't expecting, if we have an emotional reaction to it, it can shift our entire day. We can go from being in the vortex and in a state of being totally aligned with our higher selves and aligned with Source, to being thrown off that path, to becoming upset, to thinking that horrible things are going to happen, to worry, to fear. And again, it spirals. It's like going down a rabbit hole. Or we can be conscious of what's really happening and not have an emotional reaction, but rather take a deep breath. Understand that this is a temporary setback. It's not going to affect the total outcome of everything. In most cases, the things that happen to us that upset us and throw us off course are things that aren't even going to matter a year from now, a month from now, 5 years from now. It won't matter. You'll have forgotten that it even happened. So it's important for us not to let ourselves be thrown off track because of one setback. Or it could even be a lot of little setbacks. And have you ever had a day where you wake up and it just seems like everything that could go wrong goes wrong, and you think to yourself, I just want to go back to bed and I want to put the covers over my head and I just want to stay here until this stops? I know I've had days like that, and it can be very frustrating. What happens to me whenever I have these days is I wake up and I have one little thing happen, like maybe I spill coffee all over myself. So then I have to change my clothes. Maybe the shirt I wanted to pick then is wrinkled, so I have to iron it. Then I get in the car and I get stuck in traffic. It's like all these little things just keep happening that add up to a big thing, because it's chipping away a little by little at your energy. It's depleting your energy, so that by the time you're in the middle of your day, you have very little energy left because you've had so many little things chipping away at it. They can add up really quickly. That's why it's important to be aware of your being in the moment, because you had a choice. The first little thing that happened to you, you had a choice. You could either react or you could not react, and that was a choice. You could have had a thought like, this sucks and now this day is ruined and this is going to be bad. Or you could have just said, okay, so it happened, no big deal, moving on. You could have not had a reaction. Or you could have even said, okay, this happened, but this is not how my day is going to go. I'm going to continue to have a positive attitude. I'm grateful for this today. And you could have completely turned that around. It's really, really hard to do that if you're not paying attention and living in the moment. But it's so important that you do that, because let me explain. If you continue to go about your day letting every little thing eat away at you, it may not seem like a big deal at first, because those first couple of little minor things weren't that bad, and you're like, so, well, that happened, so what? And then you keep going. But I'm here to tell you something, and I'm a firm believer in this because it's happened to me before. I have had days where I got up and things started to happen, like I spilled coffee, or, the dog had accidentally gone to the bathroom on the carpet overnight and I had to clean that up. Just something to make me a little late and whatever. So I've had those kind of days happen where, where I just tried not to let it bother me and I kept going. And what I noticed with that is the day got a little better, but little things still kept happening. I also have had days where that happened, that same thing happened, and instead of continuing just saying, okay, well, I'm not going to let it get to me emotionally, I actually just stopped right there. I took a deep breath and I said, okay, universe, this is not going to be the kind of day I'm going to have. I'm going to have a good day from here on out. And then I list like 3 or 4 things that I'm so grateful that I have, that have already made my day better. Like I had an awesome cup of coffee this morning. It really helped me to wake up. I got a really good night's sleep because my bed was so warm and comfortable and it was hard to get out of my bed, but I had a great night's sleep. This breakfast that I'm having is awesome. It's going to nourish my body. It's going to provide me with energy that I need for the day. You know, I find things to be grateful for, things that I already have, things that make me love my life, okay? And the difference between those 2 days is, while even though with the other one I didn't let it emotionally affect me, little things still kept happening. And it was still little by little eating away at my energy, just not as much as it would have if I had had an emotional reaction and decided to get really upset. So it was still better, but I offer you this other situation where I completely stopped. And in that moment I said, all right, you know, we're not going to have any more of this bad day. It's going to be a good day from here on out. I'm declaring it. I am asking the angels to take care of it. The universe has my back. They're taking care of it. Things are working out perfectly. Things always happen for me. Things are always working out for me. I had this awesome cup of coffee. It's helping me wake up. It's helping me to have a good day. I'm going to turn on some music that's going to brighten my mood. I'm going to have an awesome drive to work. And I'm shifting my mindset. But not only am I shifting my mindset, it's actually shifting what's going on around me. Because whenever I had those kind of days and I did that, I stopped and I said, okay, it stops here. This is not the kind of day I'm going to have. Things completely shifted. And things in that day would happen where like someone would just give me a random compliment, or like a student brought me a cookie that they made in cooking class, you know, just little things. And they may seem like, well, that was just a little thing. Yeah, but it brightened my whole day. And it completely shifted the day I was having. And I honestly believe that the reason that it shifts is because my mind shifted. I shifted. I totally said, I am not going to have this kind of day. It's not going to continue. I am asking the universe to help me turn this day around. I know they're working behind the scenes. They're always providing for me. I am thankful for the things that I already have. I'm loving my life. Here's the things I love about my life. And I'm calling in more things to love. And it may seem like whatever, that didn't happen. It did. I promise you it did. And it's great when we can get to the point where we just don't let things bother us. But it's even better when we can say, okay, I am shifting the course of my day. I am totally taking my power back. I know that I'm the most powerful being because everything happens because of my energy, my mindset. I am controlling the things that happen to me by how I react to it, by the energy I put out, the way I think about things, and I have every capability of flipping this around. Do you know how powerful that is and how powerful you are? In that second version of that day where you totally stop, you collect your thoughts, and you start talking about, first of all, you declare that you're having a great day. And then you talk about all the things that you already love about your day and all the things that are happening for you that are so great. It shifts. It changes things. You are creating your own reality, whether you realize it or not. So with every thought that pops into your head, if it is not a thought that is aligned with Source and aligned with your higher self, you are creating that reality. So when you worry about those bills and you worry about projects getting done, and when you worry about all of those things, you are creating that reality of, I would call it hell. When we're worried and stressed, we are creating our own private hells for ourselves, because that's heavy, heavy energy. It doesn't feel good. We're supposed to feel good here. We're supposed to love our lives. And if we don't love our lives, we have every bit of responsibility for that, because it's all about the reality that we are creating. And just because you don't have everything you need or want right now, it doesn't mean it's not going to show up. Sometimes it's the universe saying, do you want this? Because if you do, why are you focusing on not having it? Why are you focusing on lack? Why are you focusing on it not being there? Because when you focus on it not being there, and you focus on the lack, and you focus on fear, you're just calling more of that in. Stop focusing on what isn't there and focus on what is. And not just what is, but what is there that is positive, that makes you feel good. Because if there are things in your life right now that don't make you feel good, stop focusing on it. Because that's calling more of that in too. What do you want to see in your life? How would your ideal life look? And then picture that. Feel how that would feel. You know, when your day starts going like that, take a moment, stop and breathe, and declare that your day is turning around. And then I want you to imagine your dream home. And imagine that you are drinking the best cup of coffee on the porch of your dream home, and that it's the perfect weather. That you have beautiful scenery all around you. My perfect home is a beach house. I would be sitting on my deck in my beautiful lounge furniture that's so comfy, drinking my cup of coffee, listening to the waves roll in. That's what I would be doing, feeling the sun shining on my face. We are creating our world around us. So you need to focus on what you love and what you would love to see. You've got to learn how to love your life. Because eventually you're going to be calling in the life that you love, even if it's not here right now. So we have to focus on, what does that look like? What is the life I love? What is the energy of that? Because that's the reality that I'm creating. And the other thing that we tend to do is we tend to not love ourselves when we make mistakes. I've said this before, but there was a meme that I saw, and it's so true. And it says, children who are abused don't stop loving their abusive parents. They stop loving themselves. And it's so true, and it speaks volumes about us as people. When we start making mistakes, we make a wrong choice, we think it's a wrong choice. We do something that hurts someone else. We start hating ourselves for that. And I've said it before, but the most important love that you can have is love of self. So if you are having these feelings of hating yourself because you made a mistake, you can't love and hate yourself at the same time. It's just, you can't. Talked about on my Facebook Live last night, I kept getting a card for people that said, forgive, forgive. Forgiveness is not just for other people, it's forgiving yourself. If you've made poor choices in the past, you've got to learn how to forgive yourself for that. You've got to let that go. You have got to get to a place where you know that even if you make a mistake, it does not devalue you. No matter what the mistake is, it doesn't devalue you and it doesn't define you. It's just simply a mistake. We can course correct. We can come back and fix things. You're still lovable. you're still a loving person. You're still loved by the divine. And you need to love yourself. So I would say that if you are having a hard time letting go of things you've done from the past, for forgiving yourself, you need to work on that. You can do a radical forgiveness for yourself. You can do a cord cutting for yourself. You can write yourself a love letter telling yourself how sorry you were for making mistakes in the past, that now that you know better, you'll do better, and that you love yourself so much. Journaling is awesome. It's a great way to get out those emotions. But you've got to love yourself. That is where it all starts. And you've got to start loving your life. I know it's hard, especially when things happen to us that we don't like. It's really hard. We lose people in our lives, and that has a profound effect on us. But you have to know that they aren't really gone. We are not humans, we are spirits having a human experience. So when we leave this plane, we are going to be with them again. We are here for a temporary time to experience all kinds of things and then move on to something else. So to sit here in this space and spend any time feeling sorry for yourself, being angry at yourself, is a waste of your precious time. You have a purpose here. We all have a purpose here. And you can't live out your purpose if you are not living. And if you're living your life angry, guilty, resentful, you're not living. What Spirit wants you to really know is that you should love your life. You should enjoy the thoughts that come to your head. So if you're having thoughts that come into your mind that are not pleasant, let it go. Think about things that are pleasant. We can sit and dwell on things for a long time, and we can put ourselves in our own private hell. Do you know what that does for us? Nothing positive. It torments us. We become our own tormentors. You've got to learn how to let things go, how to be in a state of loving yourself and loving your life, and whatever that means for you. When a thought comes to your mind, if something happens and you don't like it, you know what? It's not saying you can't have an emotional reaction. Shout, sure. Shout, and then say, all right, that was good. I'm done now. I'm moving on. But I would caution you, be careful what you speak into words or what you think, because your thoughts become words which become action. So be careful about the things that you think or say. Having an emotional reaction, meaning that you scream for a minute, is fine. You've got to get those feelings out. Scream, take a breath, speak your truth. This is not going to be my day. This is not going to be my life. This is not going to be how it is for me. I am declaring that from now on it's going to be a great day. Asking for assistance from my spiritual team, knowing that they are handling it and that they are always working on my behalf behind the scenes. And then moving forward. Remember though, you're human. If you do scream something that you don't want to put out there, that energy that you don't want to put out, rewind, delete. Then replace that with 3 to 5 things that you want to hear instead. Let me give you an example. Something happens and let's say you open your bank account and you see that you're overdrawn. Your initial instinct might be to yell, "Oh my gosh, I can never get ahead." Rewind, delete. I'm a money magnet. Money is constantly flowing to me from magical places. Money flows in as easily as it flows out. I like this one too. The money that I spend comes back to me multiplied. The money that I spend comes back to me multiplied. Because we're saying and we're putting an energy out there that we're not being shaken by this event. We realize that money is just energy, and we realize that we're not giving energy to having lack, and we know that it's coming. Money is coming for us, and it can come in easy ways. It does not have to be difficult. And we are trusting that the universe is co-creating with us, and we're letting it go, and we're not giving that lack or fear mindset any more power. I really do hope that you love your life and that you love yourself. It's so important. You know how many people go through life miserable? They stay stuck in relationships, in jobs, in general situations where they're not happy because they've told themselves that that is what they deserve. And that's not true. You deserve to be happy, healthy, whole, and you deserve abundance, and there's plenty of it. Your abundance does not mean that someone else is not going to have any because you took it all. It's unlimited. You can be rich, and your sister can be rich, and your brother can be rich, and your husband can be rich. We can all be rich. There's no limit to what the universe can provide. We've got to believe it. If you are having trouble, you're having difficulties, please check out my program, A Purposeful Pilgrimage. It's continuous online. It is a totally self-sufficient course in that it's self-paced. You log in to the lessons anytime you want. You have access to them forever. If you need to go back and do them several times, you can, because you know what? Sometimes it takes us different lengths of times to process information. Someone kept telling me that, I needed to have a money mindset, and they kept saying, you're creating your own, someone said that to me, you're creating your own reality. And I was like, yeah, I get it. I didn't get it. I was saying I got it because I didn't want to look stupid, but I didn't get it. It took me several months before it finally I heard someone else say it a different way, and it's like the lights went off and it clicked. And I couldn't believe that it took me that long to figure that out, but it just clicked for some reason, and that's probably what will happen with you. You're going to find something, and one day it's just going to click, and you're going to get it. If you are in unhealthy situations, marriages, jobs, whatever, be looking for this upcoming class that Heather and I are going to be teaching. I'm super, super excited about it. I think it's going to be amazing because she's going to focus on your finances and getting you set financially for thinking about what you want to see in your life when it comes to your finances and getting yourself back on track with your finances. And I'm going to be getting you back on track with self-love, loving who you are, loving your life, forgiving others, building your self-esteem. I'm going to be working on the spiritual part of it. She's working on the money part of it. But the really cool thing is she also does a lot of things with spirituality. So it's not just going to be your basic, here's what you do with money kind of course. It's a Here's how do you feel about it? What is your story about it? How do you get in alignment with this? So it's so much more than just a typical course about finances. It combines the best of both worlds, and it's going to be amazing. So please be listening for that. And I wanted to pull a card for you before I left, I should say. So I pulled a card from the Teachings of Abraham deck. And the card says, the harder I pushed against it, the more I attract its essence. When you find some unwanted thing that you want to shout no at, shout briefly and then turn your attention to the thing you do want. Any attention to anything is practicing of the vibration that will bring it unto you. That's what I was talking about. If you focus on the lack, on the thing you don't want, you're getting in the vibration of having that thing. When you focus on the thing you do want and the feeling it would feel to have it, you're getting into the vibration of getting that thing. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather have the things I want to show up, not the things I don't want. So continue focusing on what it is you want. Keep your thoughts positive. And know the universe has your back. Tell yourself those mantras every day. Start each and every day with the mantra that the universe is working behind the scenes on my behalf to bring me everything that's for my highest good in divine timing. And I say everything that's for my highest good because I think sometimes we don't dream big enough. You might say, okay, universe, I need $1,000. Well, what if the universe wants to bring you $1 million? Are you going to say no to that? No. So when you say for my highest good, this or better, it means I'm telling you that I would like this, but if you want to bring me something even better, go for it. And they usually will. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who has come to my Facebook Lives. We always have so much fun. I enjoy doing it a lot. If you are interested in a private reading with me where we can get more personal information for you, you can book a reading on my website. The way that my website is set up, you go to the service that you want, you click on the PayPal button to buy it, and let's say it's a Reiki session or a reading or a coaching session. When you buy it, then I have it set up now. I just changed it. I have it set up now so that it will take you to my Acuity scheduling page where you can actually also book the session. But if you're more comfortable saying, what do you have open, and you want to talk to me about booking the session, you can purchase the session. And then I have an email link on my website where you can just shoot me an email, or I even have my Facebook link. You can go to my Facebook page and write a message to me. If you have questions or if you just want to schedule it talking face-to-face, I know some people don't like using technology. I get it. You can just shoot me an email, shoot me a text, send me a message on my Facebook page, and I will always answer you back, and I try to answer you back in a fairly quick amount of time. You can ask me questions about the session, or you can just say, hey, I'm purchasing this. Can we set up the time? And I will say yes, and I will send you your Zoom link. So, I try to do the technology just to make things go smoother and a little easier, and it doesn't always work, but I'm willing to work with you however I can. So I will definitely, if you're not a technology person, I will work with you on that. I want to thank you all for listening. If you like my podcast, please share it with others so that we may also help others find the light. And just continue being the fabulous people you are, because I know that you're all so fabulous. Have a wonderful day, and know that you are blessed beyond measure to be here. And I hope that you feel that. I will talk to you guys again soon, sending you massive love and light. Bye-bye.